Hello, today we're going to talk about counting outcomes. First, we have actually discussed a few ways to display outcomes in the classroom. The first method that has been discussed is using a chart to display outcomes. For example, if you're flipping a coin twice, you would list all the possibilities across one side of the chart and all the possibilities on the other. Therefore, you can see that if you're flipping a coin 2 times, there's 4 possible outcomes or 4 possible arrangements. Another method that we've discussed in class is using a tree diagram to display outcomes. Same example, flipping a coin twice. You could get heads or tails on the first flip, and then on the second flip, still heads or tails remains as possible outcomes regardless of the previous. Therefore, you can see in this tree diagram that there's still 4 possible outcomes when flipping a coin twice. The third method that we've discussed as far as displaying outcomes is using an area model to do so. Same situation, but as you can see, I have broken down this square to show all 4 possible outcomes when flipping a coin 2 times. So regardless of the method, you still have 4 outcomes displayed. Now, there is another method to calculating or counting outcomes, and that is something called the fundamental counting principle. And what that is basically it's a way of calculating all possible outcomes. So, using the same example, flipping a coin twice, I'll show you the steps on how to use the fundamental counting principle. First, you will calculate all of the possible outcomes in the first event. And when you're flipping a coin twice, there's only 2 things that could occur. On the first flip, you'll either get heads or tails. And on the second flip, you're still either going to get heads or tails. So it doesn't matter if it's the first flip or the second flip, the amount of possible outcomes are the same. So after you've done step 1, step 2 is to then multiply those possible outcomes together. 2 outcomes in the first situation, 2 outcomes in the second situation. 2 by 2 will leave me with 4 different outcomes. So by using the fundamental counting principle, we can still see that there's 4 things that could occur if you flip a coin 2 times.